there, it's a beautiful day and it's me, Official Gaddafi, here once again. Today I'm bringing you transfer stories. I have updates on the Timo Werner deal, updates on Kai Havertz and Benrahma, and also Pedro and Willian. If you haven't subscribed, please kindly subscribe for me. And if you like the videos, if you like the content, you can hit the like button. And if you have any opinions on the news that I have shared, you can also do that down there in the comment section below. So our first story for today is on Timo Werner and why the deal hasn't been confirmed by Chelsea FC. It came a couple of weeks that Chelsea have agreed a deal with RB Leipzig to pay the buyout clause of Timo Werner so that he can become a Chelsea player. Chelsea went further to agree personal terms with Timo Werner, and then the player also agreed to play for Chelsea FC. But the deal hasn't been confirmed, as in officially confirmed by either of the clubs. Now listen, this is the reason why the deal hasn't been confirmed. Initially, RB Leipzig and Chelsea agreed that the deal will be confirmed after the season. The German Bundesliga season has come to an end. That was the agreement, and the league will come to an end somewhere around the end of June. And then they went further also to ask that they wanted to use Werner for the rest of their Champions League matches. RB Leipzig eliminated Tottenham Hotspur to get to the quarterfinals of the Champions League for the first time, since the club was born. So they wanted to use Werner, who is their star man, for the rest of the matches. But I think that didn't work. So yesterday, when RB Leipzig were coming out with their Champions League squad, they eliminated Timo Werner's name. So Timo Werner is no more in the RB Leipzig Champions League squad. And what does this tell you as a fan? What it's telling you is that, take it from me, the next thing you will hear, or the next story you will hear about Timo Werner, will be an official confirmation by Chelsea FC or RB Leipzig or both. That is going to be the next bigger story you will hear about Timo Werner. So if you wanted to know why the deal is still being held up, this is the reason. RB Leipzig wanted to use him for the Champions League matches, the rest of the Champions League matches, but Chelsea didn't agree. So they have eliminated his name from their Champions League squad. So the next thing you are going to hear about Timo Werner is that he is actually going to sign for Chelsea FC, and that is what we all as fans, we have been waiting for. The next story, the second story for today, is on Kai Havertz, and something big is happening behind the scenes, because Bayern Munich has also entered the race for Kai Havertz, and I am kind of panicking, because when it comes to Germany players, German talent, they all love to go to Bayern Munich. Not even Barcelona or Real Madrid can price a player away from the German Bundesliga if he wants to go to Bayern Munich. We've seen a couple of them, Lewandowski, Goretzka, many. You can go on and on and on. Most of their better players, or most of the good players in the German Bundesliga, end up playing for Bayern Munich. So for them coming or joining the race for Kai Havertz, if you're a Chelsea fan, I think you should be panicking. But there is a good news somewhere, because their first choice target is Leroy Sané, who currently plays for Man City. They were actually going to sign him in the January transfer window before he got that nasty injury. And they are still chasing the player for his signature. They have, sent an offer of £35 million to Manchester City, which Manchester City easily declined that offer. They see the player to be way more than that figure that Bayern Munich sent to them. And Bayern is going to send a second offer of £50 million for Leroy Sané. And if they are able to get Leroy Sané, they will, cut short of their interest in Kai Havertz. So that is the only thing that can work in our favor. Well, Chelsea's interest in Kai Havertz is very legit, because it is looking likely that we cannot get Jadon Sancho. So we will take Kai Havertz if we can get Sancho, because he comes with a less price compared to Jadon Sancho's 120 million pounds that Borussia Dortmund are quoting. So that is the latest update in the Kai Havertz transfer interest. Now we move on to the third story for today, and it's on both Pedro and Willian. You know, their contracts should come to an end at the end of this season, and the season has been extended, so it means their contract will come to an end before we complete the EPL season. And that has led Chelsea to enter into negotiations with the players so that they can extend their contract temporarily, just like Olivier Giroud extended for another season a couple of months ago. But Willian and Pedro don't want to sign the contract yet. They don't want to sign the contract yet because they needed assurances and they needed clauses in the contract so that in the course of the remainder of the season they should get injured. If they get injured, it means no team will come in for them. Nobody will love to buy an injured player, by the way. So they needed assurances that in the unlikely event they get injuries, they are going to be allowed to stay on as Chelsea players until they are healed so that they can get another team. And I think that is what has brought the hold up in the negotiations between Chelsea and these two players, which is Willian and then Pedro. But we still have some time to wrap up the deal. So let's just hope they will come into a consensus and agree on something better that will work in the favor of both the club and the players. So that is the latest on Willian and Pedro. Now our fourth and final story for today is on Said Benrahma. Yesterday, several media outlets, it was all over Twitter that Chelsea have submitted a contract to Said Benrahma. And, Brentford, that is his current club. He plays for Brentford. And one thing I can tell you is that any news you hear on Chelsea's interest in Benrahma is actually legit. Because Chelsea are interested in Benrahma. Chelsea want to sign Benrahma, and that is the reason why they have sent contract offer to the player. When the news broke, the rumors have been there, but yesterday when the news actually broke, I've been reading some comments from a section of the fans who believe we need quality players than Benrahma because Benrahma plays in the Championship. But we have seen so many players come from the Championship and they light up the EPL. Mahrez came from the Championship. We have a couple. Tyrone Mings, even though he played in the EPL before he went to the Championship, but his strong performances this season is because of the dedication he got in the Championship, and now he is getting in England national team call-ups. You have Todd Cantwell of Norwich City, another fantastic player, Jack Grealish, Emiliano Buendia, who has been one of the most creative players in the EPL this season. We have a whole lot of players who has come from the Championship to light up the EPL. The Championship is no longer the Championship that was purely based on strength and then pace, that kick and run style of football. No. If you haven't watched Championship matches this season, I think you should start paying attention to them because they are playing some fantastic football in the Championship. Don't forget, just a season ago, Tammy Abraham, Mason Mount, and the rest were all in the Championship. But this season, we have all seen their brilliant performances. Jadon Sancho was transferred from the Manchester City Academy to Borussia Dortmund, and he is turning heads in Germany. And now he is commanding a fee in the region of 120 million pounds. He was in the academy, not even in the Championship. Callum Hudson-Odoi, we've all seen the quality the player has. He was in our academy. He hasn't played in the Championship before. So the fact that the player is playing in the Championship doesn't make the player bad, or it doesn't mean the player is no quality. No. there are a couple of clubs playing better, nice football, even better than some of the clubs we have in the EPL. You have Brentford, you can talk about Derby County, West Brom, and a host of other clubs. So the championship is no more the championship we used to know. There is very, very much quality in the championship. Benrahma this season has played and he has scored 10 goals, and then he has given a further 10 assists in about 32-35 matches that he have played this season in the championship. So he is a fantastic player. He is a player with a quick feet. He is also good at taking set pieces. I'll talk less about the dribbles. I see his style of play to be closer to Eden Hazard, even though it's early days yet. But he is still young. And there is much room to improve. Now, he is seen as a second choice, and he has agreed to play either as even a fourth choice. The player doesn't have any problem. Imagine coming from Brentford in the championship to Chelsea, who is going to challenge for the title next season. Take it from me. Chelsea is going to challenge for the EPL trophy next season. We are going to play in the Champions League. So imagine coming from the championship to a club who can offer you all these experiences. So the player doesn't have a problem. Chelsea have offered 20 million, and then we are yet to hear from the player and his entourage. So guys, this is the update on the stories making the transfer waves. This is your boy Official Gaddafi, and you can always come here for all your Chelsea stuff. Blue till I die. I'm out.